Hey, what's up everybody? In keeping with the soup theme that I've been doing for my last 3 videos, soups, I decided, you know what? It would probably be good if I did a focaccia. A focaccia is basically a bread that's flat, although there's yeast in it, and you put herbs on it, and it goes real good dipping in soups. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a focaccia. I think that's the way you say it. Focaccia. Okay, it's a focaccia. It's a bread, and I love to bake. So this is what you're going to need. Okay, I've got 5 cups of flour. This is bread flour. That's what you want. You want a high protein flour. I've got 2 teaspoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure out 400 milliliters of warm water, and we'll proof that. And well, we have some coarse salt here. This is like salt that you would put on a pretzel. That's going to go on when we bake it. I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, rosemary for when we bake it. We're going to need olive oil. So first we want to put the salt in there. Okay, we have 400 milliliters of warm water. We're going to put the sugar in. The sugar is to feed the yeast. We're going to put the yeast in, and we're going to let that get foamy. Then we'll make the dough. Give that a mix. This is a Danish dough whisk, and if you ever do a lot of baking, this is a really good tool. It brings your dough together like in no time. We're going to need extra flour for sprinkling. My yeast is foamy, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean hands, of course. Just make a little well. And I mentioned olive oil earlier. That's a 1/4 cup. That goes right in the flour. And now we're gonna add our yeast and water mixture. Okay, so now this is going to be a kind of like a wet dough. You'll see as we work this, it'll get wetter and it'll get sticky and tacky, and that's okay. That's what you want. So there. It's all together. Now I'm going to work it by hand. Alright. And once this all comes together, we're going to knead it for by hand for 5 to 10 minutes. We want it to come together. We want a smooth dough. That's how we know everything's incorporated. Right. Now I'm gonna dump this out, and you want to knead. So this is what you're gonna do. While I knead this, there's no sense in sticking around. Okay, so this is a little bit drier than I want it. But it'll still be okay. So you'll see it's pretty much ready. I'm going to put lots of olive oil in here. I'm going to coat it in olive oil, so this way it doesn't stick. And we're going to let this rise. We're going to double in size, and that'll be about an hour. So you want to put it in a warm, draft-free area. You can put it in the microwave with the microwave off, put it in the oven with the oven off, or if you have an oven that's got a option for proofing bread like I do, you can do that, and that's what I'm going to do. Got to cover it. So that's all there is to do for now. Okay, so our dough has pretty much doubled in size. I'll knock the air out of it. I'll take it. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this in a baking pan. It's got sides on it, which is what you want. And you want to put a lot of oil. I'm not even measuring. It's going to look like a pool. Alright, so I don't know if you could see, I've got quite a bit of olive oil. I couldn't even guess how much. Maybe another quarter cup. Alright, so now we're going to take that dough and we're going to put it, and we're going to shape it out. We're going to pull it. Don't worry if it tears, because we're going to let it rise again, and when it rises it's going to, it should fill that in. So you want these dimples, because that's what makes focaccia. Now we're going to let it sit for about another 30 minutes and do another rise. So I was going through my pantry on what to put on here. You could pretty much put anything on here. I've got some chopped dried onions. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to hydrate them and sprinkle them about when we put this in the oven. So between that, some rosemary, and some of that salt, I think we should be good to go. Okay, so I just added about a couple tablespoons in some warm water. Let that sit for the amount of time we're going to let that rise, and then we'll strain it and use it. All right, so this rose, and that looks good. And I'm gonna drizzle some more oil. Just gonna add a little bit of this salt. Now this is again, this salt is like the salt you put on pretzels. All right. I'm gonna take a little this rosemary, and I didn't measure these. I'm just going by look, you know. All right, this is that onion. I'm just going to put a little bit. I probably measured out more than I need, just a little bit, and that's it. You know, you can go one for it. You can do anything with this. You know what? Let's do some pepper. All right, so now this is going to go in the oven. Now I've been preheating an oven for a while. It's at 425, and this is going to go in for 25 to 30 minutes at 425. Okay, so this went 25 minutes, and it looks good. It looks golden. That's the way it should be. We're gonna let this cool a little before we take it out and cut it up, because if you cut into it now, you're gonna let the steam escape, and you want that steam in there to naturally dissipate, and it'll keep it moist. So and that's how you make focaccia. All right, so this is cooled for about I don't know, 20 minutes or so. We're just gonna cut it. I hope you try this. I hope I've been saying it right the whole time. Focaccia. And you'll see it on one of my videos when I use the bread to dunk in my soup. So thanks for stopping by. John Campo, the Not So Neat Chef. Bye.